Welcome to the Lost in History channel. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. In 1900, during the Boxer Rebellion in China, a group of Chinese authorities was recorded preparing to execute a local leader involved in the conflict, amid the political and social chaos that marked the period. The soldier Larry Matinsk of the United States Army offers cigarettes to people recently freed from a confinement camp on April 30, 1945. The image shows a gesture of solidarity in a moment of relief and hope after a long period of suffering. Heinrich Himmler and Sagardia Ramos visit facilities in Barcelona on October 23, 1940. The place had been built according to a project by the graphic artist Alphonse Lorenzich, who applied principles of art and psychology in its design. Joseph Stalin is photographed on the way to work in Moscow in the year 1930. The image shows the leader walking in an urban setting, dressed formally and surrounded by aides. President Franklin D. Roosevelt delivers a speech before a joint session of the Congress of the United States on December 8, 1941. The address became known for marking a decisive moment in the nation's history after a major international event. A fake urban area built over an aircraft factory in 1944. The project was created to hide the industrial facility and protect it from aerial observation. A commercial child cage hanging from a window in the City of London during the 1930s. The device was used by some families so that babies could get fresh air and natural light even in apartments without balconies. A platform worker hands a baby through the window of a crowded train in the city of Tokyo in Japan in 1972. The moment took place during a work stoppage by employees of the rail system. A local resident of Papua New Guinea, known as a Fuzzy Wuzzy Angel, helps a wounded Australian soldier return home on Christmas Day of 1942. The photograph shows a gesture of solidarity and courage in the midst of difficult conditions. The image shows the control room of the German submarine SM UB-110 in 1918. The place includes panels, valves, and instruments used for the navigation and communication of the vessel. The photograph records the technical complexity of the interior of a submarine of that time, highlighting the advance of maritime engineering in the early 20th century. Afghan fighters during the 1980s. The photograph shows people operating in mountainous regions of Afghanistan during the conflict against foreign occupation. One of the earliest known records of a wheelie on a motorcycle in 1936. The image shows the rider tilting the vehicle backward while keeping balance on one wheel. Nicholas II and his son appear sawing wood in the city of Tobolsk during the winter of 1917. The image shows a simple family moment while they were under watch after the abdication of the throne. The former Kai Tak Airport, located in Hong Kong, was known as one of the most challenging in the world for landings and takeoffs. The airport sat within the urban area, surrounded by buildings and mountains. An automobile parking elevator in the city of Chicago in 1936. The system allowed vehicles to be stacked at different levels, optimizing the use of space in urban areas. In 1918, during the final phase of the First World War, a group known as the Female Machine Gun Patrol appeared in New York, a symbolic unit formed by volunteer women who took part in public demonstrations of vigilance and civil support. In 1943, during the Second World War, a British woman was recorded showing her tattoo to a group of service members during a break from duty, in a gesture of relaxation and curiosity. The Panama Canal in 1914, the year it was completed and opened. The project linked the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, becoming one of the greatest engineering achievements of the 20th century. Vintage automobiles line the waterfront of Nantasket Beach in the state of Massachusetts during the 4th of July weekend around 1925. The scene shows families and visitors gathered to enjoy the national holiday by the sea. A dance club in the former East Germany in 1976. The place features colorful lights, a lively floor, and people enjoying the music of the time. The image shows part of youth culture and forms of leisure in a period marked by social change and international musical influences. Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan visit the Terracotta Army in the city of Xi'an in China in 1984. The visit was part of an official trip to strengthen cultural and diplomatic relations between the two countries. The first photo taken after the discovery of Tutankhamun in 1922. It records the moment when researchers observed for the first time the interior of the place where ancient artifacts were found. The discovery became one of the most important in archaeology and revealed details about the life and culture of ancient Egypt. The landing capsule of the Apollo 14 mission in 1971. The photograph shows the module after returning to Earth, bringing back the astronauts who took part in the third crewed mission to land on the Moon. In 1916, the inventor Nikola Tesla was photographed in his office on West 40th Street in New York, surrounded by equipment and notes from his experiments. Considered one of the greatest geniuses of modern science, Tesla dedicated himself to research on electricity, magnetism, and wireless transmission of energy. In New York City, the construction of the Empire State Building began, one of the most iconic landmarks of modern architecture. Raised during a period of intense competition for height among skyscrapers, the building symbolized the optimism and progress of the United States amid the Great Depression. A DC-4 model airplane flies over New York City in 1939. The photograph was captured by Margaret Bourke White, one of the pioneers of photojournalism. The image shows the aircraft passing over the skyscrapers of Manhattan, representing the advance of aviation and the growth of commercial air travel in the pre-war period. the team of the company Microsoft, in 1978. The photo shows the early members who took part in the creation and initial development of the company. This group was responsible for building the foundations of one of the largest technology companies in the world. The Italian actress Sophia Loren took part in a press conference in 1955, a period when her international career began to rise strongly. With her natural elegance and striking gaze, she charmed journalists and photographers, quickly becoming a symbol of beauty and talent in European cinema. In 1962, the actress Sophia Loren was already recognized worldwide as one of the greatest icons of cinema and of Italian elegance. At that time, she was at the height of her career, having won the Academy Award for Best Actress for the film Two Women, L'Occhio Tiara, becoming the first artist to win the prize with a performance in a foreign language. Sophia Loren is on the set of the feature film Legend of the Lost in 1957. The production was filmed in part in the Sahara Desert and included scenes that highlighted wide landscapes and striking visuals. Steve McQueen appears next to his Chevrolet Corvette Stingray 427 Coupe, model year 1966. The actor, known for his interest in cars and speed, was an enthusiast of auto racing. Alice Cooper and Keith Moon appeared together with their Rolls-Royce automobiles on Mulholland Drive in Los Angeles in June 1976. The image shows the musicians in a relaxed moment, reflecting the extravagant style and free spirit that marked the rock scene during the 70s. Finalists of the Miss America pageant in 1969. The photograph shows the participants lined up on stage during the final phase of the competition. The event reflected the beauty and fashion standards of the time and was one of the most popular television programs in the United States in that period. Flight attendants of the airline United Airlines in the early 1970s. The photograph shows the colorful and modern uniform worn by the employees, reflecting the style and fashion trends of the time. A flight attendant of the airline Pan American World Airways prepares meals on board an aircraft during the 1950s. The photograph shows the interior of the airplane kitchen, known as the galley, where trays and utensils used in the onboard service were organized. A woman chooses a lunch tray at an auto motor mat in the city of Hollywood. This type of establishment combined the concept of an automatic restaurant with service for drivers, allowing customers to place orders and receive their meals without leaving the car. Richard Nixon takes part in a campaign rally in the city of Paoli, in the state of Pennsylvania, in July 1968. The image shows the politician before a crowd gathered for the event during his candidacy for the presidency of the United States. In 1952, the vice presidential candidate Richard Nixon is seen moved after meeting with Dwight D. Eisenhower and receiving his support to remain on the ticket. The meeting took place after the so-called Checkers speech, in which Nixon responded to criticism about donations received. The oldest known photograph of a donor, recorded by James Robertson in 1855 in the Ottoman Empire. The image shows the traditional preparation of meat on a vertical spit, a technique that would later become popular in many parts of the world. Women learned to ride bicycles together around the year 1895. The photograph shows a group balancing and practicing on a quiet street. Women hold components of the first 4 computers developed for military use in 1962. The photograph shows the engineers and technicians responsible for handling essential parts of the machines, such as panels and circuits. Sigourney Weaver tests the equipment used as a flamethrower during the filming of the movie Alien in 1979. The image shows the actress preparing for one of the production's most memorable scenes. The Kiev Institute for Nuclear Research during the 1970s. The photograph shows part of the scientific facilities dedicated to studies in physics and nuclear technology. Hatmakers work on new creations in Estonia in 1972. The photograph shows artisans shaping and adjusting hats with traditional tools and materials. The 6th World Festival of Youth and Students, held in Moscow in 1957. The event brought together participants from many countries for cultural, sports, and artistic activities. A photograph from the 1930s showing the construction of Dynamo Stadium in the city of Tbilisi. The image was recorded by Guram Rakulishvili and documents one of the main sports projects of Georgia in that period. A military parade crosses the center of the city of Chisinau in Moldova in 1968. The image shows soldiers marching in formation, accompanied by vehicles and flags. The city of Moscow during the 1950s. The image shows wide avenues, streetcars circulating, and people walking among buildings, with architecture typical of the Soviet period. A bakery in Moscow during the 1950s. The photograph shows employees serving customers and shelves filled with breads and confectionery products. The scene reflects urban daily life and the importance of bakeries as central points of community life in the Soviet Union of the post-war period. The city of Leningrad, currently known as St. Petersburg, in 1971. The image shows busy streets, historic architecture, and urban daily life during the Soviet period. Feeding time for newborns in a maternity hospital in Moscow in 1957. The photograph shows nurses caring for the babies in an organized room with lined-up cribs and medical utensils of the time. A boy from a village holds apples in the region of Kostanay, in the then Kazakh Soviet Socialist Republic in 1962. The photograph shows a simple moment of rural life, highlighting the relationship of local communities with agriculture. A boy from Berlin sells lemonade using a portable dispenser in 1931. The equipment, strapped to his shoulders, allowed him to serve the drink directly to customers in the streets. The first delivery of Coca-Cola in the city of Knoxville in the state of Tennessee in 1919. The image shows the vehicle used for transporting the bottles and the team responsible for distribution. Negotiations between a zoo director and a chimpanzee that had escaped in the city of Belgrade in the former Yugoslavia in 1988. The image shows the moment when the director tries to calm the animal and persuade it to return safely. Bill Clinton and Boris Yeltsin look over the landscape of the Hudson River Valley in the state of New York in 1995. The meeting was part of an official visit aimed at strengthening relations between the United States and Russia. Claudia Lenier took part as a guest singer on the song Brown Sugar by the Rolling Stones and also on Young Americans by David Bowie. In addition to these collaborations, she performed with Ike and Tina Turner as a backing vocalist. The image shows the only known photographic record of a living quagga, made in 1870. The animal, native to South Africa, was a subspecies of zebra, recognized for having stripes only on the front part of the body. Albert Einstein appears giving a lecture on the theory of relativity in 1922. The image shows the physicist in front of a board with scientific notes, explaining his concepts to an audience. Anita Ekberg wears a summer dress during the 1950s. The Swedish actress was known for her elegance and prominence in film productions of the time. The image reflects the classic style and the charm that marked the cinema and fashion of that period. A vehicle adapted by hand by pea harvest workers in 1936. The photograph, made by Dorothea Lange, shows a family that turned an automobile into a dwelling during a period of economic hardship. A photographer and his assistant prepare to capture the ideal image of the Grand Canyon in the state of Arizona in 1908. They position the equipment carefully at the edge of the rock formation to record the landscape. The image shows a scene from the World Series of 1912, an important baseball championship of the United States. The contest took place between the Boston Red Sox and the New York Giants. The Boston Red Sox won the series, earning the title after 8 intense games that marked the history of the sport. A woman talks on the telephone around the year 1900. The image shows one of the earliest models of telephone devices used in the beginning of the 20th century. The scene represents the advance of communications and the start of a new era in long-distance information exchange. A one-room school located in the state of Texas in 1907. The space served for the teaching of children of different ages in the same class. The image shows the simple style of rural schools of the early 20th century, which were essential for education in communities of the interior of the United States. An announcer reads the day's news on the Telefon Hirmondo service, known as the telephone courier, in the city of Budapest in 1901. The system was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire and transmitted information, music, and advertisements by telephone to subscribers. An outdoor ice hockey game held in Sweden in 1959 was stopped before the end. The match took place in an open area covered with snow and ice, where weather conditions became unfavorable for the players. A man appears to remove a wooden object from the garden of his home, while a child watches beside him. The image was recorded in 1960 and shows a family moment in front of a brick residence. The scene represents care and calm in the face of a significant event. The dog of General George S. Patton appears lying near the place where his owner was honored in 1945. The image shows the animal in a quiet moment, conveying loyalty and the bond between him and the commander.